Today we're going to paint a pumpkin with a crow and a sunflower. So the first step we're going to do is we are going to paint the sunflower and the crow. So I am just going to paint the petals yellow. You could do whatever color you'd like. If you want to do it like a lighter orange or an orange with some yellow, or you don't have to make it a sunflower, go for it. So I'm just painting yellow around the petals, and I'm also going to paint the bird's beak yellow. When you open the paints, you might have to stir them around a little bit just because the paint set a little bit. So I'm going to paint those, put them aside, open and stir that orange, and start painting the pumpkin. I'm going to paint the insert pumpkin, the egg shape first. That goes on top of the pumpkin, and I'm just using that orange that's in the palette. If you want to make a darker orange, you could add a little red to it, or if you want to make it a little lighter, you could add a little yellow to it. I'm just taking red, and I'm going to just put a little red on the edges, so then it gives it a little definition, and it'll give it a little more depth when we put it together. So then once I do that piece, I will start painting my pumpkin, painting everything, including the edges of that pumpkin. Once I'm finished painting my pumpkin, I'm going to, like I did with my egg shape, I'm going to put red on the edges just to add that depth. On the left and the right side, just put a little red and then just blend it in. After I do that, I'm going to make some brown to paint my stem. So to make brown, I'm using a piece of paper, but you have to find something to mix some paints. I'm going to mix yellow and black together and keep on adding yellow or orange until you get that black until you get that brown that you like. Once I have a brown, I'm going to start painting my stem. When you paint your stem, also paint those edges. This brown is going to be useful when we do at the center of our sunflower as well. So I'm now going to use that brown and paint the center of my sunflower. Your center is actually going to be an overlay that you could put on top, and mine didn't come with an overlay, so I'm just going to paint that center. I'm going to use my brown. If you want to lighten up the brown, you could add a little more yellow to it, just like I'm doing right there. Once that is finished and dried a little, we are going to add a little black and white to add some texture into it. So I'm just painting the middle. I'm using my small brush to paint the middle. Still using that small brush, I am going to wash and dry it, and then I'm going to go into the middle of that flower with some black. I'm going to put black on one side of the flower, and then on the other side I'll probably put a little white. And I'm not exactly brushing it in, I'm almost just dabbing it in to give it some texture. So while I have some black paint on my brush, I'm just going to paint that crow black. When I paint my crow, I'm just going to go right over my eye as well. Once I'm done with my crow, I'm gonna put that aside and use whatever brush I'm using, and I'm gonna put white into the side of the flower. I'm going to let everything dry, and once everything's dry, we'll put it together. So once it is dry, I'm going to just put everything together with some glue. You could use any white glue that you have. I'm just using like craft glue. And I'm going to glue the egg portion onto the pumpkin first, and then I'll add my crow and my sunflower. You could add the sunflower on the bottom, the crow on the top. You could do whatever you'd like. A little glue goes a long way though, so don't put globs and globs of glue. After I put it all together, I'm going to go in with a small brush and some white paint, and using the back of the paintbrush, I'm going to add a little eye to my crow. Once you have that done, you could set it aside to dry, and then once it's dry, it's ready for a little fall decor. Hope you had a fun time, and see you soon.